All right, well, we have just started recording. So if you are watching this on YouTube, hey there. I don't have anyone live with me right now, but that might change. My name is Aron. I'm the program coordinator for Project SOAR with Access of Wilmington. This is part of our Project SOAR Fit initiative. So we have a couple of classes a week on Zoom, and I record them and put them on YouTube. I'm glad you could join me. These are fitness classes meant to bring full functioning to your body. They're adaptive. I'll give some alternatives for different things you can do. If you have any feedback, if you are watching this on recording and something didn't make sense to you or something didn't work for you, feel free to give me a call or a text or leave a message on the YouTube channel. I will get to it and I will give you some feedback and some things we can try. In the meantime, I'll just sort of try to give you some things as we're going along that you can try that you can do for alternatives or modifications. Also, in addition to these being great adaptive workouts for just general health and wellness, I've also included specific exercises to ready those of us that are signed up for some fun trips. So there's some things in here to help you get fit for skiing, also some things to help people get fit for our climbing trip. But even if you're not going to do those activities, don't worry. Like I said, these are full body adaptive workouts that will help you get fit and functional, regardless of what you have planned. So if you haven't already warmed up, don't worry. We'll do about a 2-minute, just sort of quick workout or warm up, and then some dynamic stretching, and then we'll start the workout itself. Today's workout is going to be a HIIT style workout. So HIIT as in high intensity interval training. We'll do 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest, 8 exercises total, and then a minute rest, and then we repeat those same exercises in the same format 2 more times. So we do 3 rounds. If 1 round is all you need today, don't worry about it. You can stop right then and then forward to the cool down. If you want more, you can always rewind and do a couple more rounds. And you can always modify from round to round. So you might feel really energetic at the beginning, and then by the end feel a little tired and want to do some more of the low impact versions, or vice versa. You may start out a little slow, and as you get warmed up, decide you've got lots of power and energy and you really want to just go all out at the end. So this is really your workout. Like I said, I'm going to give options, but I want you to make this your own, have fun with it, and see where this takes you in your journey towards wellness. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. You do not need any equipment. However, if you have some things at home that you want to use, small hand weights sometimes come in handy. So if you have some hand weights, that's great. Otherwise, we can use exercise bands. I actually have some of these at the Access office. So if you want some, let me know and I'll get some out to you. And today we actually are going to do a little rope jumping. If you have a jump rope, great. If you don't, or if you don't have enough room in your space, I'm a little worried about my ceiling fan, but if you don't have enough room in your space, don't worry about it. You can do the jumping without the rope, but I'll show you with and without. And let's go ahead and get started. So, like I said, if you've already done the warm up, great. It's a gorgeous day out. I hope you've had a chance to get outside and enjoy it. Maybe do a walk, a run, a bike ride, get out in a kayak and do some paddling, just whatever gets your body moving. But if not, we'll do a really quick 2-minute one. I like just to mix up and do like 4 different exercises just so I don't get bored. So I'm going to do 30 seconds of jogging, 30 seconds of jumping jacks, 30 seconds of high knees, and 30 seconds of squats. You can do what I'm doing, or you can do any variation of just movement for 2 minutes to get your heart going. And I'm going to start my fitness watch so I can see how many calories I burned today. And we'll go ahead and get started. So let's begin with that first 30 seconds. And like I said, I'm just going to start out with a jog. If having that high impact doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. You can walk it out or march it out. If you're seated, you could punch it out. Again, it's all about movement and just getting our heart rate up. So whatever movement works for you. All right, that was our first 30 seconds. I said jumping jacks next, so you can do traditional jumping jacks. You could do a variation of a seal jumping jack. You could do a low impact jumping jack so that you're not having all that jumping. Here we go. I get back into the rhythm. All right, that was 30 seconds of that. I'm going to do high knees next. I like to try to get my knees up to my hands. You could also kick it out if you prefer. Like I said, it's really just about moving more than anything else, whatever lets you get your heart rate up. All right, last 30 seconds of our warm up. I'm going to squat it out, little air squats, trying to keep the body upright so we're not pitching forward. Nice and upright. I like to do a wide leg squat. You could do a different variation. My heart rate's already up, so it's working. All right, that was 2 minutes. So I'm going to move on and do some dynamic stretching. If you feel like you need more of a warm out or warm up, go ahead and pause it and do a little more movement if you feel like you need that before you move on. So we're going to go back to the squats. So I did wide leg squats before. This is a little different. So we're not so much worried about getting our heart rate up, but it's more about sort of checking in with how all our joints feel. So I'm going to start with a narrow squat, feet really close together, maybe even touching. I'm going to just do 5 here and see how all my joints feel. Moving through my range of motion. This is going to help me make decisions about how I'm going to modify or adapt my workout. I think that's 5, maybe more. Taking feet a little wider, about hips distance. Same thing. Just a few slow squats here, really paying attention to how your body feels as you're moving through these squats. And then the final variation of this, I'm going to take my feet wide, let the toes open up wider than heels, and squat a few more times. All right, moving on. We're going to be doing a lot of movement with our hips, especially for those exercises that are getting us ready to ski, although also climbing, because we need that flexibility to get those good footholds. So I'm going to use a chair for balance. You can use a table or the wall, or if you feel steady without it, you don't need to use anything, but I like to just have something there just to check my balance. I'm not even putting much weight into it. I'm going to pick up the opposite knee away from the chair and then open my hip out to the side, bring it down and around. So I'm just making a circle through that hip joint. Again, this is my chance to warm up those joints and also just to see how they feel today. All right, let's take it the other direction. So still making those circles, just going the other direction with this. One more time. All right. I'm going to stay on this same leg and do a forward backward movement through that same joint. So extending my leg in front, giving it a little lift, and then kicking back, giving that glute a little squeeze. Let's do that 5 times. And that last time, we'll keep the leg out in front and we'll go side to side. All right. Let's do that whole sequence on the other side. So I'm going to move my chair, get my balance, and do the other leg. So lifting that knee up, out and around and back 5 times. And after that last time, we can switch directions. And then let's extend that leg out in front, give it a little lift, and then kick it back, giving that glute a little squeeze. Let's swing through that 5 times. And that final time, let's leave the leg kicked up in front and take it side to side. All right, great job. We're going to move a little up from the lower body. Do some more dynamic stretching. So coming into a side bend, you can keep your hands low, or you can reach one arm up or both arms, whatever feels best. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side. And go ahead and do this a few times at your own pace. You can even connect it to your breath. Just doing a little bit of a yoga stretch at the beginning. Inhale, center. Exhale as you move into that side bend. And then if you feel like you're getting a really great stretch and you just want to hang out there, feel free to hang out there. You don't have to keep going back and forth. You feel like you're really needing a stretch in one direction. Let's come back to the center and release that. Maybe shake it out a little. And let's do a little bit of movement in our shoulders. So shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and then drawing the shoulder blades together and then pulling the shoulder blades down the back. So we're sort of making this circular motion with the shoulders. You can keep your hands at your side, just letting the arms hang limp. Or if you want to, you can bring hands to the shoulders and do that movement by making circles with your elbows. You could also extend the arms and do that circular motion with your arms extended. So you can mix it up or pick which one you like the best. Let's switch directions. Again, doing a combo or just sticking with the one that feels best for you today. And then the final little bit of movement we're going to do is just addressing any tension that we might find in the neck and shoulders, letting our ear fall towards the shoulder. Maybe tilting the chin down towards our shoulder and back up, noticing what we're feeling right here. And as you're doing that movement, if you feel like there's one spot where you're just getting a really nice opening and you want to spend some time breathing there, feel free to spend some time there. You don't have to keep moving once you've found a good spot, or you can keep that motion. Don't forget to breathe. And then let's go ahead and roll our chin to our chest and then take it to the other side. So we'll do the same thing here. Sort of exploring that range of motion, seeing what we feel on this side. You may feel this down in the shoulder or up into the back of your head. Shouldn't be painful, and we don't have to force it. We're sort of allowing gravity to do some work. If you feel like it's painful, back off, maybe stop doing it, or maybe just do it at not so much of an angle so you don't create so much tension. Chin to chest, and let's look back up. That's all the dynamic stretching I'm going to do before our workout. If you feel like you need more, give this a pause, do what you need to do to get your body ready for your workout, and then go ahead and we'll press play. All right. I'm going to start my timer for our workout. I have a cool little HIIT workout timer that tells me when to start and when to stop. You might be able to hear it. I'm not sure, but I'll call out when we're changing. The first thing we're going to do, our very first exercise of the day, is that rope jumping. Again, if you don't have a jump rope, don't worry about it. You can do it without. And I don't play music on my end, partly for copyright reasons and partly because I don't want to make it hard for you to hear me. But if you enjoy music, I highly recommend it. I know it can be really motivating. So pick out your playlist and let's go to work. All right, we're going to start in 10 seconds. If you don't have a jump rope, again, don't worry about it. 2, 1, you can jump. You can twist it out. You can skip it out. Whatever feels best for you. I'm going to give this a shot with my jump rope and see if I can avoid hitting my ceiling fan. We're about halfway through. I'm already feeling these. I've managed not to hook my ceiling fan. All right, we get 30 seconds to rest. While you're resting, I'm going to demonstrate what we're doing next. So the next thing is either a curtsy lunge, alternating side to side, or a skater hop, which is pretty much the same movement. We just add a little hop. So again, you can go high or low impact. We're going to start in 3 seconds. All right, so you can also make this a little more powerful by reaching down. So even if you don't add that hop, trying to reach down towards the ground adds a little to it. And if you want that plyometric hopping, you can add that in, either with or without that reaching down. Woo, rest. While you're resting, I'm going to demonstrate next. We're going to do a squat burpee. So coming into the squatting position, reaching down, you can either hop back or step back. You can either add a push-up or not, and then either hop or step forward and come into a lunge. So lots of ways to change that up. And again, whatever you do this round, you can do something different next round. Oh, ready to go. Squat, move back. I'll show you stepping back this time. You could do a push-up or not. I'm not going to do one that time. Step forward and squat. So that's what that variation looks like. Or you can hop with or without that push-up. Hop. And even if you want to do the push-up, if you don't want to do a push-up from your toes, you could lower your knees and do that push-up from your knees. Stop. Speaking of push-ups, that's our next exercise. So let's bring it down. Push-ups can be from your toes, from your knees. You can do a push-up from tabletop. See if you can hug the elbows in towards your waist, whichever variation. So we're really working those triceps. We're going to start in 3 seconds. Let's go. Ooh, and I'm still rehabbing my shoulder from an injury in November, so I'm going to change that up. Doing it from my toes was making that shoulder feel a little unstable. So I'm going to come to this option from tabletop. All right, coming back to our feet. The next movements are going to be lunges. I have written down lunge jumps, which look like this. Again, if lots of hopping around doesn't work for you, you can alternate and do either a forward lunge or a backward lunge. And you could even add weight here if you wanted to add a little weight. Totally up to you. I'm going to try these lunge jumps. Let's go. There's a lot of cardio this week since it was Valentine's Day on Tuesday. Thought we'd focus on heart health. May not be doing these hops next round. I can really feel this in my knees. Rest. Back down on the ground. We're going to do commandos. So for commandos, we start in that push-up position. We lower down to forearm, other forearm, and then back up, one arm at a time. And then we alternate which arm goes down first. So you have to really stay present. I just demonstrated that from a tabletop. So again, you can do that tabletop from the knees or from your toes. Let's see if I can start on my toes. Halfway through. We get 30 seconds to rest. I'm going to keep it here on the floor because our next set of movements is a plank shoulder tap. So again, whatever variation of plank you're in, and then tap one shoulder and tap the other, trying to keep your hips and spine steady, so not rocking side to side. So that's really going to use some core strength to do that. All right, we're about to go. So tap and tap. Trying to keep your body as steady as possible. And remember, you can do that with your knees down. And if you bring your knees in more into a tabletop, you can do the same thing. So lots of ways to do this. You could even do this if you're sitting in a chair. Really thinking about extending your arms out to create that sense of energy. So lots of ways to do this. One last exercise this round. We're going to do a twist. Again, if you wanted to add weight, you could hold a weight in your hand. And you could also intensify this by lifting the feet up and twisting. So lots of ways to play with this. Make this workout your own. I don't know about you, but my heart rate is definitely up. Let's do it. Let's go. Halfway through our very last exercise of this round. Squeeze those thighs together. That's going to help steady you. Rest. We get 60 seconds in between rounds. If you need more and you're watching this, remember you can always pause whenever you need to. And also I have our exercises set up with 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. You can change that to work for you. You can follow along with the same workout and do a longer work session or a shorter one, longer rest session or a shorter one, and just keep it at those minute-second segments with whatever works for you. We have about 30 seconds more before we start with that rope jumping again. I'm going to grab my rope. I probably won't show as many alternatives this round since I've showed you once. But you might see me doing alternatives because I need them. Halfway through. Rest. Remember, next we have those curtsy lunges or those skater hops. 2, 1, let's go. Halfway through these. All right, 30 seconds to rest. Next are those squat burpees. Three, 2, 1. All right, all done with squat burpees. We're going to come back down to the mat and get some push-ups knocked out. Let's go. All right, little rest here. We're going to move on to those lunges. Remember, you can do those lunge jumps or another alternative. I think I'm going to stick to alternating forward lunges this time. That jumping was a little much for my knees today. Let's go. Halfway through these lunges. And more than halfway through this workout. "30 seconds to rest, then we're coming back down for those commandos. I'm just going to go ahead and come down here. Getting ready. Let's begin. "30 seconds to rest. I'm going to stay down here because our next exercise are those plank shoulder taps again. Take this time while you're resting to get a drink of water. Catch your breath. All right, let's get ready for those shoulder taps. Keeping your body as steady as you can. That's really going to take pulling those abdominal muscles in and building that core strength all around your torso. That core strength is really important for just functional fitness in general. But again, those ski trips and climbing trips, we're using a lot of core strength. So this is going to get us ready for that. Last exercise are those twists. So I'm going to come right onto my seat, give myself a little hug, and then we'll get started. This time, just to change it up, I'm going to use a weight and keep my feet on the ground, just to show you that variation. Halfway through, almost done with this round. All right, nice 60-second rest this time. And then we'll do our final round, repeating all 8 of those exercises or their variations. And then we'll cool down and get to finish up for the day. Feel free to get water, use the restroom. If you need a longer break, hit that pause button, come back when you're ready. This time I'm going to leave my rope and do the rope jumping without a rope, just to show you it can be done. Let's go. The nice thing about not having the rope is since I won't trip over it, I can, play around a little more. Maybe skip it out. Maybe twist it out. Things I probably would fall on my face if I did with the rope. "30 seconds rest, and we move on to those curtsy lunges or skater hops. I don't know about you, but my heart is staying high today. This is a burner. Let's go. I'm definitely feeling tired. I'm moving a little slower this round. "30-second rest. Next to those squat burpees. It's the last time we have to do it today, though. I think I may take that push up out this time and sort of do like a half burpee without the push-up portion. We're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 30 seconds. And we move on to those push-ups. I'm going to come right down here. Let's get ready to go. Choosing your variation of push-up for this round. Great job. I'm coming back up to my feet. We're going to do those lunges. Feel free to do a lunge jump if that feels good for you. I'm going to keep it low impact this round. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 30 seconds of lunges. Either stepping forward and backward, alternating, or you can step backward and forward, alternating, or you can do those lunge jumps. Or if there's another variation you want, you could do that too. All right, we're going to rest and then go back to those commandos. So I'm just going to come right back down to the ground while I rest. I'm going to do a little child's pose and stretch out my shoulders. Feel free to do any stretching you want in between these exercises that helps you to recover and keep going. Let's go. We get to rest for 30 seconds. I'm going to stay right here because our second to last exercise is those plank shoulder taps. And remember, you do have the option, if holding your body weight up is not a good option right now, you can do that same thing with your arms extended, just being really energetic in that way that you're pushing away. You will still feel this in your forearms, I promise. Trying to keep the body steady. It's getting really tough for me to do that right now. My core is getting pretty smoked. I don't know about you. Last exercise are those twists. I really liked how it felt to keep my feet on the ground and use a weight last time. So I'm going to repeat that variation. Remember, you've got lots of choices. So pick what's going to feel best for you. This is our very last exercise. So we're going to make it count. And then we'll cool down. Let's get ready and go. Halfway done with the last exercise. That's what happens when I can't play music. You have to hear me sing. Well done. We are all done with the work portion of today's workout. Don't go anywhere. We are going to cool down and stretch, which is super important to help us recover so that we can come back and either do this another day or do something else that we find fun, like climbing, skiing, kayaking, you name it. But we have to give ourselves time to recover so that we can do that. So get a drink of water, use the restroom, maybe march or step it out as your heart rate comes down. Just keep it nice and easy. And in about another minute or so, we'll start our stretching. Just want to encourage you to do workouts on your own in addition to what we're doing together. Again, we are so fortunate here in North Carolina that we have beautiful weather, even in February, a lot of the times. So if you can get outside and do something fun, I really recommend it, especially if you can do something that gets your heart rate up a little bit. So whether that's going for a walk, going for a run, riding your bike, getting on a kayak. We actually rent out our kayaks. So if you want to rent some equipment, reach out to me. You can rent a kayak, a stand-up paddleboard, some of our golf clubs. We have lots of stuff for you to, do recreation and sports on your own, even outside of what we have scheduled with Project SOAR. And I just really want to encourage you all to do that and have a really active and healthy lifestyle, even if your schedule doesn't let you do it when we have things scheduled. All right. My heart rate is dropping, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on my stretching to get done today. If you need a little more time to cool down, remember this is all on your schedule. Hit pause, do what you need to do to get your heart rate down and feel like you're recovered a little, and then you can pop back on and stretch out with me. So let's go ahead and do a little quad stretch. I think on Tuesday I did the quad stretch lying down just to show you that variation. Today I'm going to do it standing. Once again, I'm going to use my chair just to help me balance. And just to remind you, I'm not putting my weight on it and like collapsing into it. I'm just using that to steady myself. So letting my weight come into that inside leg. I'm going to bend the outside leg knee. I can stay here just like this. I don't even need to do that bind with the hand and the foot. But if you like how that feels, go ahead. You could even use an old belt or something if you want that connection and you can't reach your foot directly. You can put a little loop around your foot and then pull that up. But even if you don't have that, squeezing in that hamstring to bring the heel towards your seat will help stretch the front of the thigh. So when we squeeze the back muscle, the front muscle stretches. Let's switch sides. So I did that. I did my right leg that time. I'm going to do my left leg this time. And if you feel steady without a wall or a chair, you don't have to use one. I just like to have one there, just in case. Don't forget to breathe. This is a great time as we're recovering to really intentionally think about slowing down the breath. Especially that exhale, making it maybe just a little bit longer than your inhale. See how that makes you feel. If you're wearing any kind of heart rate monitor, see what happens to your heart rate when you do that. Just extending that exhale a little bit. Let's come down to the ground for the rest of our stretch. We're going to do some things in a lunge position. So I'm going to keep my right leg forward and my left knee down. And if having your knee on the floor doesn't feel great, you can do a lunge with that back toe tucked and the knee lifted. We're just wanting to see if we can feel that stretch again in the front of the thigh a little, that quadricep, but also here in that hip flexor. I like to do it down here, so I'm going to come down here, but you can do it either way. And then I just want to invite you, if you tilt your body into a little side bend towards the side of your body that has the leg in front, sometimes you might even feel a deeper stretch in that hip flexor. So if you want to experiment with that, see how that feels, go ahead. And if you're in that side bend, let's come out of it. And then we're going to do a twist towards the side of the body that has that bent knee. And again, if you have that back knee lifted, it looks the same. It's just the back knee is lifted. And let's come back through center. And we're going to extend that front leg. So you might wiggle the heel a little bit forward and lift the toes, and then you can fold over that front leg. If you're in that lunge position with your knee up off the ground, go ahead and straighten the back leg if it's not already straight, and then straighten the front leg, and you can fold over the front leg from here. Just be careful that your leg isn't hyperextended. So straighter than it was when it was in a lunge, but not hyperextended. So at least keep a little tiny bend there. And again, just to show you, it looks like that if you're going to stay in that lunge with your knee on the ground. But either way, we're getting a nice stretch in the back of this front leg. All right, let's switch sides. So whichever variation you're doing, we're going to put the other leg in front. I won't show both variations this time, so I hope you caught that. We'll start in that lunge. If you want to add a little side bend, you can. If you're in that side bend, let's lengthen back up and then do a twist. So we're twisting towards that bent front knee. Back to the middle. Let's come into that hamstring stretch. So either that half monkey or half split with your knee down, or that same split folding over the front leg with the back knee lifted. Let's do another breath here. And then let's come back into our lunge. And then I'm going to come all the way down onto the mat and come into a seated posture. We're going to do a little stretch, but depending on where you hold tension, you might feel it in different places. I usually feel this in sort of the sides of my low back and even my shoulder blades a little. You might feel it someplace different. But let's leave the left leg extended and bend the right knee and let it fall out to the side. So our right foot is on the inside of the left leg. And then let's sit up really tall. Inhale, nice long spine. And then exhale, we're going to fold over that extended leg. And again, if you need a little bend here, go ahead and bend it. In fact, I want everyone to at least put a tiny bend there so that we don't have that knee hyperextended. You can have your hands on the leg or on the floor. Once again, if you have a strap and you want to put it around the ball of your foot, you could do that. And if you are able to reach your foot, that is great. It is not necessarily the goal that you usually has more to do with our body proportion than it does flexibility. I'm not very flexible, but I have very short legs, so that makes it look easy. Let's take another breath wherever we are and then come back up. We're going to keep our legs like they are and just rotate so that we're facing that bent knee. And then my right knee is bent, so I'm going to take my left hand and put it on my right knee to help me stay in that twist. Reach my right arm up by my ear and then side bend, like I'm going to try to reach those left toes. Once again, thinking about not going so far that it hurts, just going far enough that you can feel your body resist, and then pause there. See if you can pinpoint where that resistance is coming from in your body. And imagine when you're breathing that you're sending the breath right to that spot. And then just see what happens. Instead of trying to force yourself to go deeper, just see what happens if you allow your body to work with your breath. Again, just sneaking in a little bit of some yoga stuff into our stretching here. Let's do one more breath. And then on the next inhale, let's come back up. I'm going to switch sides. So my right leg is coming out, my left knee is bending. I'm going to sit up tall and then fold over that right leg. Still thinking about the breath. Maybe even intentionally making that exhale just a little longer than the inhale. And if that doesn't work for you, you can release that. Just kind of breathe your body's natural rhythm. You don't have to force anything. These are all just little experiments to see how they impact what we're feeling. And then when we're doing sports, maybe even how that impacts our performance. Maybe one more breath where we are, and then we'll come up, twist towards the bent knee. This time I'll take my right hand to the left knee, reach the left arm up and over towards my right toes. And inhale, let's come back up. We'll release from there. You're welcome to stay on the mat. We're going to do a figure 4 stretch. So you could either do that lying on your back and even bringing your legs towards you if that feels good, or bringing your chest towards your thighs if you prefer that. I'm actually going to come to my chair again and just show you the chair variation of this. So sitting maybe a little out towards the edge of the seat, and I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee. So this is that very same shape. And then if I want to do that torso and leg coming towards each other, I'm going to hinge through my hips into a little fold here. Ooh. And feel free to experiment with these. They're all basically the same shape. But sometimes just shifting where you do it or which variation you do, you might feel this in a little different place or with a little bit of different intensity. I definitely feel a little more intensity doing it this way right here. And then when you're ready, we can inhale. If you're in that fold, we can release it. Let's switch sides. So if your right ankle was over your left knee, allow your left Ankle is over your right knee. You can stay right where you are, or if you want your chest and your legs to move closer to each other, you have a couple different options there. One more breath wherever we are. Next inhale, let's come up and release. The last thing I'm going to have us do today is just a little release through our wrists and forearms, because we did a lot of like planks with those commandos and burpees and things like that. So bringing the hands together, and here I'll stand up because it might be easier to see if I get closer. And we're going to move the hands down and then bring the back of the hands together and flip around. So just rotating through the wrist, and then you can switch directions. And if that doesn't feel right for you, you can do those circles just on their own. I kind of like that. Same thing, you can use a little pressure from the opposite hand to stretch and compress. These are great too after a climbing session. So these are nice things to remember to do to recover. Thank you so much for joining me. We are all done today. This was a tough workout. Seriously, I think this is the most calories I've burned doing any of these sessions so far. So this was a torture, not torture, but like torched calories. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think, or if you have any questions, any feedback is much appreciated, either on the channel itself or on my number, which is in the comments, so you can see that. Hope to see you again soon, and I hope that you come out to some of our activities in person, and let me know what you think if you've been doing these workouts. All right, have a great day. See ya. Thanks.